Oh yeah, yes. Thank you.
It's gonna be a problem.
No, they're higher than you. That height is higher.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to HaHalloween Comedy Alley! Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you here. My name is DJ BK Broiler, and we are having a great show for you tonight. Now, are you ready to get this show started? I said, are you ready to get this show started? There we go. It is my pleasure to introduce you to your host for this evening's spooky festivities. Legend has it Vikings left him on the banks of Ontario. Other smarter people have told me he was born in an alley. He crafted this face to remind him of home. The captain of Laughing Vikings, Lars Classington. Sorry, the king of Laughing Vikings. All hail, Your Majesty.
Oh, hell, okay. One more time for the DJ. That's Brandon Knox, a.k.a. the BK Broiler, a.k.a. the Wiz tonight. The Wizard. Oh, wow. Look at this. We are doing it. We are doing it. How you feeling, Alley people? Look at this motley crew. Let's make some noise if this is your first time in the alley. Okay, all right. Make some noise if you're an alley regular. You're just one of the alley people. You're one of the, like me, you're one of the alley trolls. I've been here for 20 weeks in a row in an alley. That's how I live my life now. Just me and one other person. That's it. We have this is Halloween. You guys get that? Yeah. You get it? Because it's Halloween and this is a comedy show, and haha is the noise and how laughter sounds. Haha. You guys get it? Halloween. Do you get it? Do you guys get it?
Yeah.
Do you understand? Okay, you do? Okay, I'm just making sure you guys are with me. Leprechaun, good to see you. Leprechaun and pirate?
Yeah.
Sexy pirate, is that right? Modern, completely sexy, completely unsexy. Unsexy. How dare I assume your sexiness or your gender of those two things? Yes. Hello, how are you guys doing? You guys know each other? You're married? You guys are married? Wow, Leprechaun married to a pirate. That's fucked. How did you guys meet? You invaded Ireland? He was drunk. How did that work? In a manner of saying. Okay, I don't know what that means. Just say, "Arr," and I'll move right along there, pirate. What else we got? Anyone not wear a costume tonight? I'm looking at you guys right there. No. Sir, you pull the hoodie down? Pull the hoodie down? Yeah, you wore a costume. That's one of the scariest costumes of all time. A white male. He's a white male, a Caucasian male. That's scary. You know how much havoc white males have wreaked across the lands? Look at me. I'm a king. We did some horrible, horrible damage. Vikings are not known as nice people. You know what Vikings are known for? There's two words that you're thinking in your head right now in Vikings land. They would blank and blank. Yeah, I'm not going to bother saying it because it's not the funnest word at a comedy club show to do it. But it's a big misunderstanding. I'm evolving the idea of Vikings. Most Vikings weren't laughing Vikings. They were just horrific Viking kings. They would arrive, kill all the men, all the women, and then they would pillage the village. You know what pillage the village means? They would take all your shit. But we turned it. I'm switching it to laughing Vikings because in my head this is what I'm pretty sure my ancestors, they were the fun Vikings. They were the happy Vikings. They would throw parties. They would throw Halloween parties. That's what they would do. And I think there might have been, I don't think they said blank and pillage. I think what my ancestors, they were like, bring some grapes for the village. And then there was a big misunderstanding. I was like, no, I said grapes for the village. Not that, you fucking psychomaniacs. Grapes. Why do you think we had all these grapes on these boats? We're bringing grapes for these people, for God's sakes. I don't know if I've sold you guys on that. You're like, I'm not so sure. They seem like they are horrific people, but not me. I'm one of the good ones. I'm one of the good ones here. My name is Lars. I'm the host, the proprietor of this alley here, formerly known just as Alley. It's now Comedy Alley, but for a long time it was one of the most unfunny alleys in the land. Does anyone have a spare alley kicking around? Does anyone? Do you need an alley guy, sir? Do you need an alley guy? Do you have a dull old alley that you need to spritz up? I'm going to tell you the secret right now. Just write this down. This is life hack. If you got a shitty old alley right now and you're like, I got to do something with this boring, old, unfunny alley, it's mostly umbrellas. It's mostly umbrellas. You're looking at them. You're like, I just need 9 wacky umbrellas from Dollarama. By the way, they are completely non-functional. If it pours rain, they will not help one bit. There is one above you right here. It will do nothing. You'll get soaking wet. I'm just going to say a disclaimer out there. You got to get rid of the legal stuff. I should also say that I'm so sorry, but I have no arrows on the ground here in the alley to tell you what direction to walk. You're gonna have to figure it out tonight. You guys good? You know which direction? It's mostly this way sometimes, and then it's this way sometimes. And when you go inside, toss a mask on, make a right to the bathroom, go in there. You can have a red carpet poop. Who's used the bathroom yet? Anyone used the bathroom? You did it once before, but you haven't used it this time. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys in on something. This is part of your ticket price tonight. Is there in the bathroom is because we're classy here in the alley. We're not one of the low class alley people. This is a classy alley. We put the ass in class. In there is a bidet. Give it up for the bidet inside. The Laughing Vikings bidet. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You love a bidet. You're fucking right. You do. Because if there was shit on the ground, you wouldn't use paper to clean it up. You would eventually clean it with water so it's clean. Who owns a bidet in the room? Anyone own a bidet? Couple people. Just one person? Just one other bidet owner? It's rare that people in alleys own bidets. It's weird that you're in an alley and you're a bidet owner. This is a rare thing. I want to sell some bidets. In fact, the one in there you can take home used tonight for just $69.99. $69.99. Who needs it? Who wants a hot bidet? Who needs a hot bidet? You know how many Canadian entertainers' asses have been on that? We could probably sell it off. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of Canadian. Eventually, you're going to go walk on the Canadian Walk of Fame, and you're going to look at names on the Canadian Walk of Fame, and you're going to be like, I own a bidet that those asses sat on in an alley. That's a big deal right there, ladies and gentlemen. You guys with me? I'm going to sell you a bidet right now. I think I can sell everyone in a bidet. I'm working on a bidet jingle. I believe what I have is the Sleep Country Canada of bidet jingles. Anyone? I'm sure you're all familiar with Sleep Country Canada. Or you're not from originally from here, so maybe you don't know the legend of Christine McGee. Make some noise if you guys know who Christine McGee is. The CEO of Sleep Country Canada, who, by the way, she never had a business plan. She had warehouses and warehouses full of mattresses and one hell of a fucking jingle. And I think I can do the same, because you guys know the jingle for Sleep Canada. It goes, Sleep Country Canada. See that? That's fucking jingle power right there, Joe. That's jingle power right there. So I believe I have the Sleep Country Canada jingle of bidets. So I'm going to test it to you. It goes something like this. I want to open up a bidet store called Bob's Bidets. Because who's selling these things? Only 2 people out of all these alley people own a bidet? There's a market here. You guys all should have bidets. Some Italians have more bidets than bathrooms. It's weird. They just put them in every room. Europeans, French, Portuguese, they put them in there's a bidet in every room. That's their slogan. So I'm going to sell, and there's no bidets or Russ. There's no bidet depot. No one's selling these things right now. So Bob's Bidets, I'm going to open it up. Here's the jingle. It goes a little something like this. Come on down to Bob's Bidets, because with the bidet, you're always rim job ready. Bob's Bidets. Who's buying? Who's selling? Need a bidet? Take a bidet. You have a bidet? Leave a bidet. Anybody? Who's got one? Hot. If right now you're not thinking to yourself, Lars, that was the best fucking bidet jingle I've ever heard in my goddamn life on Halloween. That is a killer jingle for bidets. Right now, if you're not thinking that, you need to Google the word rim job and you're going to figure it out. And you're going to say, Lars, you fucking crushed that bidet jingle. Yeah, that is the slogan. Come on down to Bob's Bidets, because with a bidet, you're always rim job ready. One time I was in Gravenhurst and I was doing a show, and I asked people in the front row. I was in Gravenhurst at a very prestigious venue. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Gravenhurst Jug City. You guys heard of the Gravenhurst Jug City? It's not a strip club. It's a gas station / convenience store. Literally, I was doing a show in a gas station / convenience store. Some people were just coming in to buy gas and smokes, and they would go the other way. One guy came towards me, and I was like, oh, he's coming for the show. And he was just walking this way, and then I realized I was standing next to a worm machine, and a guy was arriving to buy worms. I was like, oh, you're here for the show? And he said, no, I'm just here to buy some worms. And then he put coins in a worm machine. What a life we live. And so in the front row, there was a gentleman, much like you guys. One was a leprechaun, and one was a pirate. And they were married. And I said, does anyone in the room own a bidet? And the guy shook his head, and you nodded. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the show, they were having a bidet debate. Right here, they were debating bidets. They were having a big old debate. Anyone else? Have you guys ever debated bidets before? Anyone back in high school was part of the bidet debate team? Anybody? Just me? But say it to yourself right now. It's real fun. Bidet debate. Bidet debate. Say it, everybody. Bidet debate. You got to get this out of your system. Otherwise, you're going to be thinking about it. Bidet debate. Bidet debate. Bam, ba-na-na-na. Bidet debate. Bam, ba-na. Does anyone not know what the fuck's going on right now? It's a thing. It's a thing, guys. You have no idea, do you? Oh, you do? Nice. They have Muppets everywhere, did they? He's like, I get it. You have a fucking bidet, Lars. I understand. I want to tell you guys a little bit about me before we get this show started. A little more about me. You know that I own a bidet. You know that I'm a proprietor of Ahhlley's here. And I have a lot of I feel like I have a lot of talents. Anyone else in the room feel like they could succeed at many things? Like I could do stand-up, I could do acting, but I think I could also do musical stuff. I think my fallback career is to be a hit musical act. And what I'm thinking, I'm going to be very specific. Got to be very niche. You can't just be general these days. I'm going to be a Crash Test Dummies solo cover act. You guys know the Crash Test Dummies? Once there was a boy who... I'm going to do that. It's that guy. They were a beloved folk band called Crash Test Dummies. And I think I got the baritone voice for it. And there's gigs that they're turning down, is what I'm saying. They're not doing alley gigs. I could easily be doing a Crash Test Dummies alley gig here. You guys know this. You know how the songs you want me to? Once there was a boy whose parents made him come directly home right after school. He always sounds like he's about to throw up. Come right after school. He's got a very low voice, like while he's singing, he has gastrointestinal problems, like he's having a gastric acid reflux. Once there was a boy. And then the other song that he sings is, you guys might, this is the real hit. It goes, Superman never made any money, saving the world from Saul. The song is called Superman. It's called Superman Song, and it's about how Superman never made any money. You know what? Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You're Superman. You don't fucking need money. If you want a sandwich, you just kick down the door and you're like, give me a fucking tuna sandwich. And I know some of you right now are thinking, old Soup's a good guy. He's not going to use his powers for bad. Yeah, well, then he just walks in and everyone's like, hey, Superman, why don't you just come in and have a tuna sandwich on us? You don't think Superman's not having money problems. You guys understand what I'm saying right now? No. You guys don't. I'm not 100% certain that I do, except for the fact that I want to go on tour and go, Superman never made any money. Saving. That's all I want to do. And I want to ask you a question. How much time do you think I could spend of my life in an alley tonight just going, Superman never? The answer is I could do that all night. I could, Superman. The other song that I was saying, this is maybe one of my favorite songs of all time because the name of it is just. They didn't write a chorus and they didn't name the song, so it's just called with like 17 M's and H and then 11 more M's. The song is literally called. That's the good thing about being a crash test dummy solo artist is I don't need to learn any lyrics. That's the thing. I can just go, what's a man do? That's a hit. I could be a hit, guys. You guys with me, or is this just me? Because I'm fucking. You don't need to be with me on this, just so you know. I'm wearing a crown, a little bit delusional to begin with, and most of my delusions come true. So if I'm thinking right now, I'm going to be a Crash Test Dummies cover solo act named Crash Test Dummy, it's going to come true. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. How you guys doing? You guys doing good? All right. I'm going to. Before we bring up your acts, I got to make sure that you guys really understand who I am as a person right now. Make some noise if you voted in the last election. Let's vote in the last election. All right. See how pumped everyone was? Yeah, you were just, that was a rousing, woo! Yeah, fuck, yeah, we voted. Any noise if you were like really excited about your candidate? You were like, fuck yeah, this person knows how to do it, and they represent me. Anyone who's like super pumped to vote? Not a soul. Because here's how we vote these days. We vote like, I guess they're the least shitty. They're the least of the criminals. You know, he seems to have committed the least amount of crimes. I'll give him my vote. No one's excited. So here's the thing. I'm going to announce it here to the alley. I am going to run, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to run in the next election, not in Canada, not in the U.S. I'm a dual citizen for those two countries. So I'm going to run as Prime President King of Canada, America, Americanada. Canada, America, America, Canada. You were about to applaud. That was appropriate reaction, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're looking at the future Prime President King of Canada, America, America, Canada right here. And I'm not going to run as a Democrat. I'm not going to run as a Republican. I'm not going to run as a NDP, a liberal, conservative. I'm not going to run as PPC. I'm not going to run as communist. Do you guys fucking believe there's still a communist club? Is anyone else surprised? You're like, whoa, there's someone's still pitching communism. Did anyone vote for communism this year? Anybody? Anyone? No, I saw it on mine right over here. I was in a church, like a church basement. I'm like, whoa, fuck. You need to at least rebrand. If you're still running as the Communist Party, like switch it up and just be like the Hammer and Sickle Club or something. Who knows? I didn't vote for them, and I'm not going to run for any of those parties. I'm going to announce it right here. My slogan is free pizza for everybody, and I'm going to run as the independent leader of the pizza party. What do you guys want? Pizza. How much you want to pay for it? Nothing. When I say free, you say free. Free. Yeah, this is why we're doing this. We're spitballing my campaign right here. BK Broiler, the DJ, is my campaign manager. When I say pizza, you say party. Pizza. Pizza. And then it's going to be a grassroots thing, ladies and gentlemen. You people in the alley are going to be the first crack supporters. You can sign up to host your own pizza party, invite all your family, invite all your friends, and I will provide the pizza. I'll show up. Yeah, I'll show up. It'll be like, we're having a pizza party. Womp, 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 womp. I say pizza, you say party. I say pizza, you say... Guys, this is the fucking pizza party. We need to get more pumped. Get more pumped up, all right? Just me? Okay, but here's the deal. So free pizza for everyone. Free pizza everyone. I'm gonna throw it out. You're telling me, look me in the fucking eyes right now. You're telling me you're not going to think back to this night the next time you're at the election place, wherever that is. And why are we still going to schools and dingy old community centers? Why don't we just fucking smarten up and make every Tim Hortons drive-through where you vote? Who's with me, people? That's my first fucking act. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the whole voting act. We only vote at Tim Hortons drive-throughs. And if you're a Starbucks person, then like, I don't know, you just don't get to vote. Just go to Tim Hortons for the day. Pizza party. But here's the deal. I got to come clean with you. I know you're looking at me. You're like, how the fuck are you going to pay for all these free pizzas? Here's my answer. Same answer as every other politician. The economy is just one big made-up lie, guys. It's just the big fake numbers. If I want to provide pizza for the whole fucking world for free, I can do that. Here's a fun fact. This is a legit fun fact. Guess how much money they spent on the last election in Canada? Guess. Anybody? $600 million. Guess how much that is? Guess how much that is exactly? That's enough to throw a countrywide pizza party. We could have already done it. Pizza party. But here's the deal. I got to come clean. I'm going to fuck you all in the end. I'm gonna fuck you. That's right. I'm gonna, just like every other politician, I'm gonna promise free pizza. I'm gonna promise, but I'm only human, and the corporate fat cats are gonna get me someday. Power corrupts. With great power comes great responsibility. So after I hook you on all the free pizza, I'm gonna fuck you on the dip. The dipping sauce. I'm charging $5.99 a dipping sauce. You're all fucked on the dipping sauce. That's right. Who's with me? Pizza party, pizza party. I'm being honest up front so that you vote for me. You know how I'm gonna fuck you guys. I'm gonna fuck you on the dipping sauce. All right, no dipping sauce. She's like, I'll just take the free pizza. Ooh, there's a loophole. All right, guys. I expect your votes. Let me just pull the room here. You see me on the ballot, and you're like, yeah, I'll give Lars a free pizza vote. Make some noise right now. Holy shit, guys. Wait till I start. Maybe I gotta start whipping some hot pizzas at you. Guys, you ready to start the next part of the show? You ready for your first act? All right, make some noise for her. She's done shows all over Toronto. She hosts Comedy Mixtape, and she's here dressed up for you. Her name is Sarah Ashby. Come on down, Sarah Ashby. You guys get it? Sarah Ashby.
Thank you so much. Here we go for Lars. Oh, yeah. I like Lars. I like how at the beginning of your set, you're like, look, I know I'm dressed like a king and I'm white, but I'm one of the good ones. And then you ended with a joke about how you're going to become politically corrupt. Seems right on par with every single one. Hi, it's so nice to be here tonight. It's so nice to see everybody. I'm really excited to be here. I am a little bit nervous, though. I hate telling people I'm nervous, right? Because I always get like, everyone, like, because I do this, they always get that same little, like, Peter snippet of advice, you know? They're always just like, oh, if you're nervous, just imagine the audience is in their underwear and you'll be fine. Right? But that's pretty intrusive, you know? So instead, what I like to do to get over my nerves is I like to imagine that I'm naked and you're all just super impressed with what you see. Great. No, because it's very nice to be here. It's very nice to be out. I work with kids during the day, which is just a really nice way of saying I get bullied a lot. I didn't really realize how mean kids could be until I started teaching like this one very honest group of kindergartners. And like, these kids weren't like regular style honest, you know? These kids were like Real Housewives style honest, right? Like they just tell you a fact that's wrong about yourself. And then they hit you with one of these. Right? They're just on the playground sipping Chardonnay. I'm like, where'd you get that? They throw it in my face. They're like, I own 51% of this company. I'm like, you're 4. You can't do math. No, I had this. So I thought it was going to get better with like everything shutting down because we moved to online learning. I'm like, there's not much they can say about me in online learning. But they do. I don't know if you've ever been dunked on by a grade 4 in a Zoom chat, but then watch the chat section just fill up with GIFs. But it's not fun. It's not. I've never played Among Us or know what it is, but I've been personally attacked by it. Good time. I really do. It's an interesting job. It's much better than the one that I used to have. I actually used to work at a maid service, which was fine, but I had to quit it. It just made me like really depressed after a while because like I was cleaning houses for like people who could afford to have their houses cleaned. Right? So like every day I just like walk in and see something I could never own, you know? Like I just go in and it's like, oh man, I'm never gonna be able to have like a metal cat doorstop or like a fancy fruit bowl from Spain or fruit. But it made me like much more aware of things like you shouldn't have in your apartment, right? Like, did you guys know you're not supposed to have dust bunnies in your microwave? Like cobwebs in your shower? You know, just like a hole in your floor where the landlord can see right up into, like those little things. Not supposed to be there. I got a maid outfit though for my maid job at the time. And my boyfriend at the time, he was so excited about it. He really was. He was like, "Oh, you should put it on. You should put it on. It'd be really hot." I was like, "No." He was like, "Come on, please." So I did it. I caved. I threw on my lime green t-shirt, my beige khakis, and my sexy Crocs. And I went into his room and I was like, "You ready for this?" And he was like, "Get out of my mom's clothes." It's been a very, I don't know, it's been a really, really like interesting time. I'm so happy that like we're out and about right now because I love Halloween. I really do. Halloween is my favorite fall holiday. If you can't tell, you're all like, yeah, you're just like some weird character from some show probably. And you're right. But no, I love Halloween. I really, really do. It'd be weird if I came up here and said I liked a different fall holiday though, right? It'd be weird if I was like, guys, my favorite holiday is actually coming up, Remembrance Day. And get those copies of poppin'. We're having a party. No, I love Halloween though, right? Because on Halloween you get to be something you're normally not, right? So I get to be emotionally stable and worthy of my parents' pride. Sick. No, but it's great because like I don't have to be me, right? So my dad comes into my room and is like, "Hey Sarah, when are you gonna get an actual job?" I can be like, "I'm not Sarah. I'm a ghost." I proceed to fall down the stairs because it's 2 p.m. I'm drunk and wearing a sheet over my head with no eye holes. Yeah, Halloween. It's been fun. It's been, I don't know, I do love my family. I got to see them recently after everything went down. I mentioned my dad. I love him. He's actually very supportive. I don't know why I mentioned that. He's a real dad's dad, though. Like, way too much of a dad. Like, he was born and raised to be a dad. Like, he came out of the womb with a mullet and the need for fun. To give you guys a better idea of the kind of dad my dad is, my dad's favorite dance move? Not a dance move. It's just him jerseying himself and then rubbing his belly. Food at weddings. Terrible time at funerals. Not fun, not fun. But like I mentioned, he's so supportive. He really, really is. He's very supportive of my comedy career. And over COVID, he actually took me aside and he was like, "Sarah, look, I had some free time and I wrote a joke for you. Do you think you could try it out?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "No, please." So he was really into it, so he wants me to try it out. So I'm going to try it out for you guys tonight. Okay, so here is a joke that my father wrote for me. Okay, oh wait, okay, no. He said I have to like enter the stage looking sad though. So imagine like entering the stage right now. And you guys, I'm having a real tough day. I'm having a real tough day today. Having a real tough day because I just got fired from my kindergarten job because I kept filling the EpiPens with peanut butter. What? What? Like, anything that raises more questions, than it does laughs. Like, what does my dad think like preschoolers do? It's very strange. I have no idea. I don't know. It's been I had this weird thing though happen during COVID. One of my relatives found out that I was queer and wasn't happy about it. But like not the way you guys are thinking, like not in the homophobic way or anything. They weren't happy because I didn't make an announcement about it. Like they're mad I didn't throw a party. And I'm like, I don't know, sorry. Like, are you sure you're not pulling me queer too? But it was interesting, right? And I was like, why didn't I like do anything? It's because like when I actually tried coming out the first time, I had a really weird reaction from all my friends I came out to. Because when I come out to them, I'm like, "Hey, I'm bi," and they're like, "Yeah, we know." And I was like, "What? Why?" Because I can't stop quoting Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And they're like, "No, Sarah, we were in a threesome last night. You said I love you before and after." Weird. Like I don't know, it was easier for me in a way to come out as bisexual or pansexual than it was for me to come out as gender fluid, which is very understanding because it's a confusing thing. I know. I wish I could pick one. It's really hard. But like the way I've been finding it's been really easy for me to describe gender fluidity or my gender fluidity at least to people is by using like TV terms. So at first I started to be like, imagine like the Scooby Gang, right? Some days I might be Daphne. Some days I might be Freddy. Most days I'm a mix of Scooby and Shaggy. I found that was also a little bit confusing too. So I've actually found one of the best ways to describe how I identify is in Pokemon terms. So if I were a Pokemon, I would be Ditto, right? Because one day Ditto could be himself. They might be a Charizard. They might be a Blastoise. They might be an Ivysaur. They might be a Pikachu. You never know. And much like a Ditto, most of the reason people keep me at their parties is only for breeding purposes. Thank you. No, it's been like I said, it's been an interesting time, a very interesting time. I had this happen. Speaking of stuff, I had this happen during COVID. I had a guy reach out to me 2 times to ask if I would have a threesome with him and his girlfriend. But between those 2 times, he changed girlfriends. Yeah. And I don't know how to tell him they weren't the problem. Buddy, you don't have to change the lineup if the coach is bad. I'm not gonna play for that team. But I was even thinking about that too, because this is the 3rd guy who's done that to me. Of just he got in a relationship and then 3 months down the road was hey, by the way, what? And to me, I don't know, being asked to be involved in someone's relationship you were previously involved with, for me, it feels like it feels like to me I'm this old, decrepit SNL former performer, and Lauren Michaels just keeps calling me up you gotta come back. You gotta make a guest appearance. We got the perfect sketch for you. And I'm no, I'm too old now. Just let me die. And the cast is too young. I don't know. It's that was a weird note, man. Yeah, that was really I'm confused. I'm confused by it. I don't know. I'm just finding it's very weird. People aren't as communicative as they used to be. I've had this happen. I've had guys just not tell me that they're in open relationships. Yeah, which I thought the point of being in an open relationship was to be open about it. Very confusing. But I did find this. I don't know. I find now out in the dating world weird, but I did rejoin a bunch of dating sites. Great time. But it was actually, I found it was much more easier than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be scary. I thought it was gonna be a bunch of dudes aggressively messaging me things show me your feet. And I'd be no, thank you. Not right now. But it turns out it was much more professional. It felt I was at a job interview with a lot of questions I was getting, right? I was getting questions what's your best asset? Are you a follower or a leader? What's your home address? Professional things. But I got a little match on it. I got a little match on the Tinder. Found love for a night. Thank you. And I was seeing this guy. He actually asked. He was "Oh, do you speak any French?" And I was "Oh my god." Oh my god, Sarah, this is it. Sarah, this is it. Those 4 years of French immersion are finally going to pay off. So I answered him. I was un petit peu. He was "Oh my god, that's so hot. That's so hot. Say I want you to touch my body." And I was masculine or feminine? Present, past tense. I don't know how to do that. They didn't teach us a grade 4 grammar. He was doesn't matter. Say anything. So I sang the entirety of Lady Marmalade. It turns out gitchy, gitchy, yaya, dada. Not French. Or the lyrics. No, it's the world's just weird. I just want to get better at dating. I want to get better at interacting with people again. I've been finding too clues and hints and signs just go completely over my head. The other day I was doing a show in Richmond Hill, and after the show, a girl came up to me and she was "Oh, what are you up to now that the show's done?" And I was I'm gonna go home and see if I can make my Guitar Hero 2 disc work by putting toothpaste on it. And she was just okay. She was "Oh, well, that sucks, because you could totally just come over and hang out at my place." And I was oh my god. I love when women support each other. "Oh, it's too late for me to drive home. You're right." No, it turns out she wanted to go, and I'm just a ding dong. I was an absolute fool. And so I was talking to my friends about this, and it was I don't know, it was just very strange. So I'm trying to get better about it. I really am. So I'm trying to do things about noticing things lately, and I've been noticing this lately. I've been noticing straight women questioning if they would have sex with me when I pass them on the street. And I know they're straight women. I know they are for a fact because they do this when I pass them. They always do a little double take. They're like, right? And I was like, oh my god, I've done it. I've done it. I'm just like oozing gay. Like it's just coming out of me like a pheromone. And my friends had to sit me down and be like, no. No, that's not it. They're like, Sarah, you just look like an acclamation of like every single animated Disney character put together from growing up. And I was like, like you're right. I'm like the Disney princess, like they used to dress up as, but like with the mind of the Disney prince they wanted to date. And my friends were like, no. You're like every single animated animal Disney character put together from growing up. But it gave me this little idea. It really did. It gave me a little idea where now I'm like, I'm just gonna have the confidence, right? I'm just gonna have the confidence, right? I'm gonna have confidence next time I see a girl coming out on the street. I'm gonna have the confidence, right? I'm gonna have the confidence to just go up to her and just be like, I can show you the world. One in which you are coming. It'll be a nice day in the park. No, as I mentioned before, I always talked a little bit about my family. I do love them. I got to also see my mom recently. I love my mom. She's got an interesting family history. I'll give you a brief history about my mom and her family. My grandma was a teen mom. My mom was a teen mom. But me and my sister, not teen moms. Thank you. To let joke in Hamilton, Ontario, standing ovation. Standing out. No, it's pretty great, right? Because we broke the curse. Like, we did it. But like now, because we didn't have kids in our teens, my mom's now concerned that she's just never gonna have grandkids, right? So like the kind and caring and understanding mother that she is, she's now just like forcing her way into my love life. And she sat me down the other day and she was like, Sarah, look, the best place to find men is at the hospital. Yeah, I know, that's my reaction to it. First, I was like, ugh. But guys, turns out she was completely correct. She's been hanging on the ER for 2 weeks now, met 4 very nice men with venereal diseases. And one guy with a face tattoo and a rash. Yeah, you're about as excited as she was. Turns out she wanted me to meet doctors. But I think my luck's turning around because that rash was contagious, so I got to go back next week. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I hope I find love and get rid of that rash. You guys have been an absolute treat and a half. Thank you so much for having me. Let's get Lars back up here to love the rest of your show.
Keep going for Sarah Ashby, everyone. Sarah Ashby. Yes. All right, I just want to come clean to you guys. I would not fuck you on the dipping sauce, all right? It's just going to be reasonably priced, 79 cents. Maybe I'll throw in some free dipping sauce. You guys, do I got your vote? Free dipping sauce and free pizza, okay? I came in a little hot and heavy the first time around. All right, we have a special guest right now. He was just flying by, solving crimes, and wasn't having any money problems, I don't think. But ladies and gentlemen, we got Superman Noble, a.k.a. Alex Battaglini. Come on down, Alex. It's fucking Superman, guys. Superman, thank you, Man of Steel.
Thank you, hippie who lives at home with the Burger King crown. Thank you. Figure that. Referencing Crash Test Dummies. No one listens to that fucking band. Good job. No? A couple people do? Cool. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm in my fucking tights and 2 underwear. This is great. Now I feel how you ladies feel. Fuck. You can take this right away from me. I don't care. I don't know if you can tell this, but it's cold. Jesus. Fuck, no. I wish it was like this when I did charity events. It's not. And there's always a hot suburban mom. You know what I'm saying? People are like, you have any tips? And they're like, yeah, don't come in with a loaded gun. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, bro, right? No, that's a bad reference. That was a penis erection reference. That's what it was. Thank God I'm here. I could have been at home hanging myself. But no. Oh my God, he said that. And then you walking by Queen Street East wearing this, you think that goes over? Think that goes over? Think you're faster than, yeah. You get told that here. You get told that. That's a greeting. That's a greeting. That's okay. Wear the F on his chest. That's okay. Cool. I'm glad I'm rocking off. You guys share a scarf or whatever you're fucking doing. Or a noose. I don't know. One of them. That's cool. It's a love scarf. That's what it is. And then we both comment it later. That's it. It's a love scarf. Fucking hell. It looks like a hammock waiting for that pug to come by. And it's fucking... I was worried against stepping on that fucking thing. That would have made the news. Then it kills a pug. Nope, Superman. Fuck, I forgot what I was wearing. There we go. There's it going. You guys don't get it. That's cool. You block me on Facebook. I don't care. I'm banned on it. But yeah, this is it. I used to dress up like Superman for kids' parties. Sometimes I was even hired. And I would go there. In this outfit. No, the other outfit dressed like Superman. The one my fucking wife beater with an S on it and tomato stains. That's what you got. That's what you got. There you go. You're a pirate. How would you go steal a sense of humor? Well, that for a bounty. Don't fuck with me. I'm sorry. This is how I am on Tinder. But I just saw you Superman for kids parties. It was really weird. It was just because you have to lie to the children. It's like, can you fly for us? And the parents are like, I'm just like, I'll, and then you just eat some cake right in front of them. You cut out their birthday name, and then you fucking eat it. And then, guys, go play hide and seek and go fly in my mom's minivan, and I'll get out of here. And my bell came off. That's cool. That's wicked. I don't care. That's good. I'm a good-looking guy. One girl said earlier, you don't look so much like Superman, but a buffer version of the retarded kid from Breaking Bad. So, I'll take it. You have to fuck me, otherwise it's a hate crime. I'll take it. I really wish I could fly out of this alleyway. What's an alleyway up in the sky? That's crazy. But yeah. And I'm trying to be a good role model for children. For example, kids are still getting bullied. Their lunches are getting stolen. It's true. I should probably stop doing that. But their lunches are fucking delicious, right? We can all admit that. We can all fucking admit that. Like, here's the thing. I work out, as you can tell. I work out really hard. Personality, not so much. But, like, I work out. And people like, you work out because you were bullied in school? I'm like, yeah. And they're going to fucking pay. You're probably thinking they're not in school anymore. No, but their kids are. And, you dress like a leprechaun before March. That's every day. Fuck. I'll give you a 4-leaf clover. But yeah, I'm a good-looking guy. I do work out, but I forgot the etiquette because of the fucking lockdown and stuff like that. I missed the gym so much I flexed where I get in front of my fucking vaccine. It's like, sir, this is a Shoppers. I'm like, yes, I do collect optimum points. It's like, do you one bag or two? One for my head. It's a Sunday. It's a bum day. I know. I have a nice one. Thank you. My parents just told me that. I was always on my way out the door. That's okay. No, I just turned 40 and stuff like that. I do still live at home, but I'm Italian. I have another 15 years and stuff like that, or whatever. I'm a progressive guy though. I'm trying to be a feminist, but I'm an Italian first, so it's tough, right? It's tough. I didn't know how to talk to women. I go, Dad, how do you talk to women when I was a kid? He goes, well, tell your mom to make dinner ready. And as we watch her, no. This actually feels like I'm being cornered in an alley. But I'm the perpetrator. That's the weirdest thing. Fuck. Oh, I'm a good-looking guy. I don't do this shit, man. I'm a good-looking guy. I call it like it is. It is what it is. People try to color things up, like body positivity and stuff like that. Just be happy where you are. You don't need to color shit up. It's not even bad. You're not going to change anything. Like, you can't change child molester to child enthusiast. It's not going to make a fucking difference or anything like that. I didn't mean to offend you there, senor, and your van with candies. I don't have a van. I have a Kia. Kia's not a van. Don't tell me what my car is. It's got an Italian flag on the side and a dent with another car's color on it. All right? Yeah. No, I'm a good-looking guy. I joined an MMA class or whatever because I wanted to legally fight a stranger and shit like that. No, it's cool and stuff like that. I like it. I joke out everyone. It's going fantastic. The instructor's like, make sure you take what you learned here outside of it. And my Amazon delivery guy didn't know why I was putting on the triangle chokehold, but like, you know, it was a part of the Prime memberships. It was practice. He forgot to tap. I want to do other material, but you guys are not laughing at like the stuff I like, and I want you to laugh. So I'm going to tell this. My favorite dead wrestler is Chris Benoit. No? He was, you don't know who he is? He was a world champion. He was on TV for many years, and his last match was against his family, which he won decisively. And people are like, why did he put his son in that chokehold? That was so mean. I'm like, well, if his son was that big of a fan, he could have tapped, and the whole thing would have been fucking over. But no, he lost consciousness. I did that for me. Steroids. They're delicious. You should try some. Seriously. It's like make you bulky and give you range. I'm like, fuck, where do I sign up? That's some cool shit. I can't be the only one who thought like Pfizer was putting like Viagra into the vaccines and shit like that, right? I was just like, please just put this in my balls. I'll take a second dose or whatever. I just got the vaccine because I didn't agree with some of the anti-vaxxer sentiment. I agreed with some of it, but then they're saying like, hey, you know what? They'll put a chip on you and then they'll follow you. Do you want the government to follow you? I'm like, kind of. It's been a lonely year and a fucking half. Okay? Trudeau could come over. We could do each other's faces. I don't give a shit at this point. I'll suck a dick for friendship at this point. I'm not gay, but prison is prison, right? I know how it works. I'm a good-looking guy. That's what I got going on and shit like that. I'm a really good-looking man. Yeah, this is an actual. I love Halloween. I just turned 40. That was fucking weird. Whatever. Yeah, 40. Yeah. No, I know you guys are just nodding and stuff like that. It's just weird because they tell you, you know, you can't hang on the playground by yourself anymore. You go and develop half the photos you take. That's unfair. That's unfair. But yeah, I'll end with this. I had problems on Tinder and shit like that. I got banned on it. I don't know why. But I was talking to one girl, and she's like, send me a picture. I haven't seen you yet. And then right after, she's like, make sure it's not a dick pic. But like, as you know, Apple is kind of slow, so my dick pic's already sending, right? Before she said it and whatever. As soon as they get it, what do you girls say? He said, that's disgusting. Guys back in the day never did this. They have more class. I'm like, they didn't have the technology. That was it. I've sent dick pic via fax. You thought it was an invoice? All right. That was cool. Thank you guys very much. Happy Halloween. Enjoy the last show here on the rooftop.
Superman, aka Alex Bravadini. Oh, he forgot his superphone. Give it up for him. He's a good-looking guy. He is a good-looking guy. You know what they say, folks? Never meet your heroes. Never meet your heroes. I know you were expecting him to be real nice and benevolent, but turns out that everyone's corrupt. Guys, how y'all doing? You pretty good? Super? Superman never made. I could literally do that for an hour in a row here. I don't know if you guys are down for it, but I do know that you're going to vote for me and vote for Pizza Party, right? Huh? You guys? Unicorn girl? Is that a unicorn? Or are you also a mini leprechaun? What is it? What's a witch? Did you say just a witch? No, don't say just a witch. Fucking own that witchery. Yeah. How dare you then fucking change me into something? Cast a spell. All right, guys. I said never meet your heroes, but this next guy is one of my heroes. He's literally done comedy across the world. Like literally, he's been on the other side of the world doing this. He's a regular at fringe festivals. He's an alley regular, and he's here to chef up some jokes for you. Please give it up for Anto Chan, also known as Anto Chan.
Oh yes, give it up for Lars, everybody. Our king. So yes, this is That's not uncomfortable at all. This is great, guys. Instead of saying I'm a really good-looking guy, I can't really get away with that as much. I'll say I cook a mean steak. That's gonna be my catchphrase, guys. Just whenever it's going under. So a couple things. Anybody get a COVID test that's so deep it feels like it's just like pulling out snot out of your nose? You already started nodding before I even finished. You're like, whatever he's saying, that happened to me for sure. Whatever that was. Did you ever feel like you're bonded with the nurse after? Like, I was like, I feel really close to you. She's like, that's not the first time that someone said that. I was like, that's super weird. Like, now you just made like 30 friends who are just shoving things in their nose. That's why I'm going to dress up as a nurse next year and give a COVID test. That's why I want that intimacy, that friendship. It's going to be really nice. My niece just started walking, which is really nice. She's like a year and a half or something, and people are like, that's too late, that's too early. I don't even know, right? I was just proud of her. That's all I cared about, right? And then that's great, because now she could walk out of my life like every other woman I've ever met. Not bitter at all. How many people out there dated during? You guys are clearly dating. This is a dating thing. Like, you guys waited until they're like, you want to do the blanket thing after the next act goes on stage? We want to be polite, but I mean, still, let's do the blanket thing to let them be jealous. Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking thinking about this the whole time. Like, how could I not? Like, somehow someone's doing some finger work under this. I don't know what's going on here. Like, somewhere through this, someone has an extendo hand under here somewhere. Something's happening, some unbuttoning at least, and then be like, wink. What are your names, by the way? Laura, hello. Joseph and Laura. Wow, those are nice, strong names. I probably won't name either of my like any of my kids those names though. They're like, those names are like so strong. I feel like my child needs like a very weak name at first. You know, set them up for failure so that we could both feel the same. I'm just joking. Okay, guys, I'm just bringing this down with fun. That's what we're gonna do. So one of the things that I always talk about though is maybe this is where it comes from actually. Now it's gonna get a bit like emotional. It's really hard in a Chinese family to get your family to tell you that they love you. Okay. You don't need to all that. It's okay. It has happened before, and I got emotional, and I was like, I need to power through this uncomfortable. This is still a joke, guys. It's okay. So I told my mom multiple times, Mom, I love you. She'd be like, okay, yeah. And then just like move on, right? And then I still remember the first time I did it in person. I was like, Mom, I love you. And she was like, oh, okay. Do you want some fruit? And she like went and cut me fruit up. Like that's what happened then, right? And it was like really strange. And then I was talking to my therapist about this, and she's like, it's okay. It's not about the reciprocation. You don't need somebody to like say it back to you. You just want them to know that you care about them. That's the most important thing. And I'm like, that's not why I was saying it. You know, like, are we being honest? Like, I just wanted to hear the words that, even if she wanted to say it in Cantonese, which is our, like, my family's language, like, I'm cool with that as well, too. Translate it, whatever you're comfortable with, Mom, just say it. But then my dad was like, no, it's just important to, like, let people know that you care about them. I was like, fine, okay. So then, after a while, I just kept saying it to my mom. And after a while, she started texting me LU, mom on the end of our conversations. And I was like, that's at least a step. I'm going to assume that means love you, not like, you know, something random, you know? So I was like, yeah, that means I love you. Okay, cool. So then one time I was on a date. I know it happens sometimes. And it was going really well. Okay. She was at my house and I was making a steak. I cooked a mean steak. And I was like putting like stuff on it. That's how I knew it was fancy. Like, and then, you know, someone's not fancy if they use the word fancy. I remember I went with my friend to like an event and we're wearing like ties and stuff, and I was like, it's really fancy in here. And he's like, what the fuck, man? Like, clearly you don't go to these events very often, right? Like, fancy people don't say the word fancy. So, but it was fancy. That's what I'm saying. And she was at my house and it was going really well. And we were like mouth licking or tongue wrestling, whatever you want to call it, right? And she was like, this is going much better than I expected. I was like, what were you expecting? She's like, oh, the steak seems to be cooking well. I was like, you just jumped over my question, but I get whatever. And I get a call, and it was like maybe like 7 p.m. or something. Nobody calls me at 7 p.m. except my mom, okay? Not even those fucking air duct assholes call at 7 p.m. You know what I mean? Like, they're done at 6:30, right? So 7 p.m., I'm like, that's got to be my mom. I look, it's my mom. I was like, oh, I got to take this. It might be an emergency, like, you know. So I go and take the call. I'm supposed to be going home the week after. And then my mom's like just lecturing me about speed of like driving, what time I'm going home at. Do I need to like eat when I get just like all of these random questions and then not letting me answer it, just like telling me what I should do. Oh, eat first just in case, and then you'll have. I'm like, okay, mom, I got it. I got a date in like the living room. She's like, grandkids? Like that's literally the. I don't know that anybody experiences that, but it's like you don't even ask for her name. Someone that you can have a baby with now, like please, like even if it's an accident, I don't even care anymore. Like that's probably what she's thinking. And then so my mom ends up like at the we're finishing. I'm like, I gotta go right now, mom. She's like, okay, and I hung up. And I was like, oh my God, is this the only moment that she was gonna tell me she loves me? And I hung up to go mouth wrestle with this random stranger I just met on a dating app. Like this is, and then so it was really stressful. And then I get back out there, and then we're just talking, and I'm trying to be casual, but as you could tell, I literally don't have that on. Like there was a game my friends used to play called, hey, let's play Way Too Honest Anto. Like, and then they'll just ask me questions, and I can't think things in my mind. I'll say it out loud, right? So she's like, oh, what's going on? I was like, oh, let's, watch the movie. I'm looking for it. And she's like, there's something wrong. What's going on? I was like, oh, yeah, my mom, like, I think she was, like, telling me that she loved me. And then I just, like, hung up on her. And she's like, you got to call her back. Like, right now. And I was like, wow, you might actually be a good human. Wow, this is good. Like, this date's going bad. So I went and I called my mom. And she literally jumped right back into traffic stuff. Which stops I should stop at? She's like, you should go to the one near Peterborough. It has the best like A&W. I was like, none of this matters, mom. Like, what were you gonna say at the end of the conversation? Tell me now, right? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, bye, and like hung up on me. She's never hung up on me, right? And I was like devastated. And then so I go out and I'm like I'm like walking down the hall back into the living room, and then the girl, she's just like, what happened? Like, this seems worse. And I was like, are you going to tell me you love me tonight? And she's like, no, I'm not. And I was like, I think you're going to get the steak to go. Like, I just literally I gave her a Tupperware container, all right? It was glass, all right? I was being nice, kind of. But my mom did end up telling me down the road that she loves me, which was so special, right? Yeah, oh, you're applauding. Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Peter, right? Joseph. All right, cool. That's what happens, guys. That's why no one tells me they love me. He was trying to praise me for that, and this is what happens. I'm so sorry. I don't even remember like people's names. That's terrible. But then she told me she loved me, right? And then it was like I waited for that day for like so long, and I had the best response possible. I said, "Okay, do you want some fruit?" And I cut her a piece of fruit. You know what I mean? That's the way I showed her I loved her. That's the way we traded, right? It was really nice. It's a strange way to end that, but it was a celebratory moment. But I also, like I mentioned, I am on dating apps. By a round of applause, who met their partner or have been on dating apps previously? Yes. Okay, fine. Who wants to admit it? I'm not gonna pressure the people who don't want it. That always happens. I see people looking around, and then they're like, I just don't want to tell this fucking guy. Like, it's like, okay, so who out there wants to admit that they met people on dating apps? All right? Okay, cool, yes. So, very good. Thank you for making it so I'm not alone, and you took a drink immediately after. That's what happens. Yes, you're like, yes, that's what happened. Okay, blank that part of the memory. Okay. Wouldn't that be great if you could drink something or smoke something and then choose what part of their memory it attacks? Like, that would be kind of interesting. Side note. And so what ended up happening though is that I started going on these dating apps, but I realized that like a lot of my male friends, I'll hang out with them and they'll look me in the eyes and we'll be having a regular conversation and they'll have their phone out and they're just going like this. And they'll be like, yeah, that's crazy, right, man? Yeah, you're in school again, eh? How much is that? And like having a regular conversation, but they're just going like this. And I'm like, what are you doing with your phone? And he's like, oh, I'm just on Tinder. And I was like, why? He's like, well, like if we match up, then I could choose if I like her or not. It's not, that's just how it goes. And I was like, what? Like, it takes me like 15 minutes sometimes on one profile. Like, I'm so picky. Like, I'm like, there's multiple things that if somebody doesn't have it in their profile, I'm immediately swiping left, okay? So I want to list to you guys some of the things. So if somebody in their profile if they only have one picture and it's the same photo over and over and over again, swipe left immediately. That's scary. I have no idea what's going on there. If you have nothing written on your profile at all, and you just have maybe your Instagram, your Snapchat or something like that, swipe left. You just clearly want the likes or whatever, right? Now it's starting to get, those are clear ones, right? But now there's some weird ones that people are like, what? So if you have a photo, see, it's raining right now. No, we're gonna stave it off with these umbrellas. But what another one is, if somebody's taking a photo of themselves, but you could see it through, like in their glasses, you could see the phone in it. For some reason, I hate that. I have no idea why. I told you I'm picky, right? Weird ones. If you, okay, here. If you have fit and healthy lifestyle in your profile, fit and healthy lifestyle, like that is clearly not me, right? Like I'm bad at all of those things. Fit, health, lifestyle. I'm bad at all those things, guys. Like there's not one of those things that I'd be good at, right? Maybe the and. I'm okay at anding, you know? Yes, anding. Ooh, storms are brewing. And then, okay, so these are the ones that are going to start getting more dicey, right? So there's, if you are a conservative, any conservatives out there? You don't have to applaud or anything. But personally, I just can't get along with I just tried so hard. I have so many friends who are conservatives, and I just couldn't date any of them. It just doesn't work. I can be friends with them, can't be dating. Another one, Catholic. If you're a Catholic, not that the Reformed Catholics who escaped the church, that's totally cool. But like ones who are practicing right now, we're just not getting along, guys. Swipe left. Okay, here's the parts that are very, I think all of you guys will agree. If it is an actual family member of yours. And you're laughing at that as if it's like, that'll never happen. That fucking happened, okay? Like, I was going through, and I ended up seeing an actual cousin of mine, and I was like, traumatized, right? And I was like, this is so fucked up. But the messed up part of it is, like, instead in that moment, I'm just versatile. Whatever it is in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to freak out about this. Instead, I'm going to come up with a business plan. And so I thought in my head, what would be the best way to do this? I'm going to find a way to contact 23andMe, put them together with Tinder, and make it so that you will never end up with, you send in your actual 23andMe, and they'll actually take out all of your family members, right? Or anybody who actually uses the dating apps, you could actually put how close of a family member you want it to be, like what's acceptable and not, right? Like for myself, second cousin, that's fine. I'm not actually related to you. Totally fine, right? If you go to a smaller town, you can put it first cousin. Maybe that's good for you. Who knows, right? Depends where you're living, right? First cousin daters out there, that's interesting. Glad you guys didn't apply. You guys don't look like cousins, though. That's for sure not. No, not at all. So one of the things, though, dating, though, it's not like easy, right? One of the things that's hardest, though, is like intimacy. Anybody out there ever been in a relationship and you had to stop the relationship because the intimacy was bad, whether sexual, but on this show, I wanted to share with you guys a resource that I found inside. It's called Extended Massive Orgasms, guys. This book is here. I don't know if it's rentable or not, but I wanted to highlight a couple of my favorite lines in here. So anybody out there who's having challenges in their relationships, I wanted to let you know there's hope out there. From Stephen Vera Bodansky. My favorite is Bodansky. Bodansky. One of her specialties is teaching women and their partners how women can achieve orgasms of up to an hour in duration. Would anybody like an orgasm for an hour? I can't even watch a TV show for an hour. Like full-length movies now, my attention is not happening. Like what the fuck? Hours and hours of pleasure. And I love that in that quote, it doesn't say anything about the guys. It's like the pleasure will be for an hour, and the guy will be satisfied after 1 minute and pleasure you for 59 minutes. Like that's like what that sounds like to me. Yes, an extended massive, I love the word massive in this situation. Like, I don't know, I can't get over that. Can be achieved in this hands-on guide to doing it right. Steve Bodansky and his wife Vera guarantee. The word guarantee is here that with the right information, they didn't say that this is the right information, by the way, everyone can learn how to give and receive remarkable orgasms. Which one do you like better, massive or remarkable? right? So they probably thought extended remarkable orgasm, and then later on, someone was like, "What about the word massive?" They're like, "That's amazing. We'll put remarkable on the back of the book instead. That's perfect." With an emphasis on women, but addressing the needs of men as well, the authors describe how to stimulate specific, uniquely sensitive areas of the body to produce intense climactic pleasure. I actually am starting to like this book, guys. I think is there like a library service here? Like, can I actually like take this out? Like, I'm like reading this later, and it's like this is so technical and beautiful. Okay, boldly written and clearly illustrated. I want to see these illustrations, to be honest. Like, well, I don't know what's going on there. This book offers information that has previously been known only to specialized researchers. By the way, if you're curious, as I was curious, are Vera and Steve Bodansky the qualified researchers? Yes, they both have PhD, guys. They don't say. I love that you said in what. That's a good question. They don't say what they're in massive orgasms. I don't even know. Is that like a field of like studies? Hey, I got this is my McGill certificate here, or my that's how you know I didn't graduate university. I don't even know what they're called. Diploma, no, higher than that. Degree, yes, I knew it. Degree, and they have not even the degree. They have their doctorates, guys, in massive orgasm. That would be an amazing. I'm sorry? Monumental, climactic, all of those words are here. Okay, the last thing I'll read. This is my favorite part of the whole thing. This book will convince any couple that it is never too late or too early to make each other ecstatic in the bedroom. That's the best part, because too early is clearly why you're buying this book, okay? Like, if you want the extended massive orgasms, like, because I feel like I already have the massive orgasm. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. So one thing I wanted to actually address is earlier, it's an interesting thing. Like I also, like Sarah, I work with children as well. And working with kids is like this crazy thing, right? Like, because I was working in a daycare, and you know, the whole idea of working in a daycare, you're like, it's gonna be so fun, and we're gonna have such a blast with each other. We're all gonna be entertained at all times, and it's like you're doing paperwork or people are spilling things on you. Those are like very normal things, right? But I remember after one break, this little girl comes up to me. So it's like it was like March break or something. She comes up to me. She's like, I had a wonderful break. And she literally just waited like so long. And I've been in enough long-term relationships to be like, when someone says that, you got to be like, what did you do during your break? Please tell me. I'm so excited about it, right? But I'm at work, so I'm like, please tell me. This is going to be so good, right? And then she's just like, I got pregnant. And I was just like, dear God, I'm so glad it's just like me and you talking right now. This is super uncomfortable, right? And I was just like, that's not true, right? But as someone who wants to uplift the next generation, I don't tell them, no, that's not right. I'm like, what do you mean by this, right? I'm curious. Always be curious. That's a great thing. If you're working with kids, curiosity. So I was just like, what do you mean? She's just like, I got poked in the butt and my belly got big. And I was like, dear God, that is so inaccurate. Like, I was like, actually, getting pregnant is... And then at that moment, I realized I had no fucking idea of how to explain to a 6-year-old what getting pregnant is, right? So I'm like, oh my God, getting pregnant is... Okay, think about this. Getting pregnant is... I wish I had that massive orgasm book right now. Getting pregnant is... Getting pregnant... And I kept saying it. And I looked up, and there was 20 kids now in front of me. They had gotten all of the friends, everybody to sit in front of me, and I look up and I'm now in front of like as many people as here. All of them are just waiting. What is this new word, sir? Like, tell us what's going on. And I was like, oh God, and I just literally froze so much, and I just kept repeating getting pregnant is, and then someone doesn't know what they're gonna say if they just keep repeating the question, right? And then out of nowhere, this little girl, probably like 10 years old, she comes up and just pushes me to the side like this, and she stands in front of everyone. She's like, pregnancy is, and I was like, that is way better than I started. Like, I said getting pregnant like it's an accident, like she's like, pregnancy is, and I was like, please continue. I just like fell into like the darkness. I was like, take over. And she's like, pregnancy is when a man loves a woman. And I was like, that is so sweet. That is way better than what I was gonna say. Like, that is not at all what I was gonna say. Pregnancy is when a man loves a woman and he goes near her. And I'm like, oh dear God, where is this goes near her. What the fuck? And then he's like, and he moves around a lot. And she started going like this, and everybody was like, huh, interesting. And I was like, what have you seen, young child? Like, what have your parents exposed you to, right? And he goes near and moves around a lot, and an egg goes inside the mommy. And I was like, kind of, yeah, that's better still, I think, than what I was getting. And it grows and grows, and it grows and grows. And she had like a flair for the dramatics, so she just kept saying it. She's like, and it grows and grows, and the kids are like, yes. Yes, and it grows and grows. The kids are like, yes. It grows and grows. They're like, yes. And he's like, and you were all born. And the kids are like, yeah. Like 20 kids just stand up and they're like, yeah, we're alive. You know, one kid's like, I am alive. And he like took off his shirt and he's like, ah. All of them just like spinning their hockey sticks, just like, yeah, yeah. Like, I was like, that was amazing. I like took her aside. I was like, thank you so much. Like, you did such a great job. She's like, you looked so lost. You had no idea what you were going to say. And I was like, yeah, that's true. Thanks. She's like, I was like, how did you know like what to say? She's like, my mom's a nurse, so I know everything. That is not, but yeah, okay, high five. Okay, that's how I end conversations with little kids. I just high five. High five, great job. High five, thank you. And then the younger girl came up to me and she was just like, you're not good at that. And I was like, what do you mean? She's just like, explain stuff, you know? Like, maybe that's why you don't have a girlfriend, because you don't even know what pregnancy is. I was like, it's pregnancy, right? I at least got that part right. Shut up. You know, so, but I shoot her away, right? But I was just really grateful I didn't have to explain to 20 kids what a cream pie was. That was really good. That shouldn't be where it ends. I know, massive orgasms. Okay. Final thing, last thing. So I wanted to let you guys know in Turkey, a couple years ago, the country of Turkey. Sorry? Yes. Just in case. Some people don't know. I'm trying to be inclusive, all right? Not everybody's as educated as you know? Like, not everybody's got a degree in orgasms. Okay, cool. So from now on, whenever I see you, I'm like, you're the massive orgasm degree guy. You're like, that's not me at all. I'm not that Kaplinsky guy or whatever. So you're like, that used to be a deli or something. Okay, my brain's going all over the place. I gotta finish the joke. So Turkey, a couple years ago, they actually had a gay pride parade, and there was a huge festival. Everybody was so excited. The first year they had floats, and they were so hyped about it, and they were like parading the streets, celebrations, people were flying in for this. And then the cops, as well as the firefighters, came in, and they were actually spraying them with hoses to be like, get off the streets, and like punishing them and like telling them that like it's wrong to be gay, right? And it was like this terrible moment, right? But then as they were spraying all of the pride parade, a huge rainbow appeared from all the water, right? And all of the gay people were like, God loves us! Like, they were so happy, right? So excited, celebrating and loving life and everything. And it was so beautiful, right? And that, they were trying to punish them for something that was like just natural and they're happy about. And then it made them want to celebrate more. That's really similar to how I was growing up, because when I was young, my mom used to spank me. And then now I'm really into BDSM. All right, thank you guys. That has been my time. I've been Anto Chan. Give it up for Lars Classington, the master of the massive orgasm.
Anto Chan. Yes. So interesting thing, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know the science and art behind stand-up comedians, a lot of them will craft words together. They'll write it, and rewrite it, and say it, and re-say it. Other people just go through people's bookshelves and find that book was buried down. That you went deep for that book. Of course, it sounds like extended. You're right, extended, massive. Doesn't it sound? It sounds like a monster truck rally, like Sunday, extended, massive, or massive, orgasm. Like, it almost sounds painful. But it is better than fleeting tiny orgasms. That's the opposite. Nobody wants fleeting tiny orgasms. Fun fact, I found that book at my dad and stepmother's house. So right now, my dad's like, honey, where's the extended massive orgasm book? They're boning up on it. Yeah, guys. Hi-oh. A lot of extended massive orgasms. Feel free to read a chapter. You can rent it out. I got a 2-week policy here, free on the house. Have a book, leave a book, need a book, take a book. Who wants extended massive orgasms? That's my free pizza and extended massive orgasms. Now you're in. You're like, fuck yeah. All right, fuck yeah. Pizza and orgasms. I'm down with that. That's a party. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a special treat. It's actually his first time in the alley. He's a Canadian Comedy Award winner. He's a legend. Please give it up for Phil Luzi, aka Chapita Banana.
Hey guys. If you have to ask, I'm a slutty banana. Why do humans only get to be slutty, right? And if any fruit is asking to be a slut, it's a banana. You know what I mean? Or a peach. Or a fig. There's a lot. There's a lot, guys. That, I'm a slutty banana, or I'm the chief executive banana at Jabot Fruit Markets on the ripe and the restless. Feeling good? Are those penny loafers? I always wanted them, but it's so hard for an Italian to wear penny loafers, like to be preppy. Like I went to a high school where you were a Gino, you know, there wasn't like, if you tried to be a prep, it would look odd with the gel and the polo cologne. Like the Ginos wore polo cologne, but the preppy people wore polo clothing. Anybody relate to this? Or am I just fucking high? Because I am. You know when you ask like if a little boy dresses up as a girl and you're like, yeah, I'm dressed up as a girl. But I was like super specific as a kid, you know? I was like either a 50s girl, you know, or I was a can dancer, or I was a housewife with a vacuum cleaner a la Freddie Mercury, which was technically a man dressing up as a woman. Layers there, guys. There's layers. An executive who plays tennis. Because I forgot I'm wearing this fucking headband. And I'm trying new material, guys, because we're in a fucking alley and I'm dressed up as a fucking slutty banana, okay? That's I got bullied as a kid. Surprise, right? And you can't bully, like when you're in grade 2, you can't bully a kid for being gay because nobody's sucking dicks yet, right? So you pick on other shit. And so like I was in grade 2, Chad Minter was my bully. He just like had it out for me at any chance he had. And one day I was at the water fountain and I wore a pinky ring in grade 2 because I did. You know what I mean? I got it at my christening. It didn't fit when I was an actual infant. I don't know who's creating fucking infant jewelry, but somebody did, you know? And I got it, but it was too big, so I had to wait. And it was the 2nd grade. Pinky ring at the water fountain. I'm doing my business. I was just doing my business. And this, you know, like I was a shy kid and I was just like, I guess the glitter caught his eye because he just like came to the front of the line at the fountain. He's like, are you wearing a pinky ring? And I was like so embarrassed. Like I was like drinking and I was like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? And I just wanted to like turn around and be like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, I'm wearing a pinky ring. He's like, are you in the mafia? I was like, what the fuck is the mafia? I'm in grade 2. I didn't watch The Godfather until grade 5. You know what I mean? So I was like, what? He's like, are you in the mafia? And I'm like, no. But I was like so embarrassed. And I just like left. And they were all like laughing. And I put the ring in my pocket. And I was like so embarrassed. So when I went home, I just took the ring off right away. And I gave it to my mom. I'm like, you can have this back. And she's like, what are you doing? And then I'm like, I don't want this ring. She's like, you have to wear it. It's like, it's a beautiful ring. Your godparents, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't care. Chad Minter made fun of me at school today. She's like, what did he say? And I was like, he said I'm in the mafia. She was like, oh my God. I'm like, what is it? She's like, don't worry about it. I'm like, Mom, am I in the mafia? And she just like picked up the ring off the floor and she's like, give me your hand. She put the ring back on my finger. And then she kissed it. No, she looked at me, she put it on my finger and she's like, I wish. My mom did wish she was in the mafia. She always said it. She's like, I wish we were in the mafia. I could have anything I want. Like, I guess it was like a guilt trip to my dad, like trying to convince him to become a fucking criminal so she could have nice things. Leave it to my mother. Leave it to my mother. You know what? I'm my mother today. That's what I'm on a dating site called Scruff. Because I guess you have to have scruff on your face or something to like be on the site. And in order to like give someone attention, you woof at them. Like it's a dog paw and you press it and then you like it's a woof. And some people will like paw you back or actually write woof. It's just like a big gay old dog pound happening like on this site where it's like woof woof, yeah, woof, I love it. Let's do it. And you meet some like interesting people. Let me tell you about dating. You know, you have nice chats because, you know, over the pandemic, you're not really meeting anybody. You're just having chats. And, you know, and it's the same questions. One guy was like, how you doing? Good. What are you doing? And I asked him, like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, so gay. I'm watching HGTV. And I was like, I'm watching Dirty Dancing. I'm gayer right now. And he was like, yeah, you win. And there was that one time where I was watching porn and the Brittany Murphy documentary at the same time. Does it get any gayer than that? You know, and you meet like crazy, you know, everyone's different. And I love chatting, and you know, no judge. People are like polyamorous. They're like an open relationship. They're single or married, engaged. I'm like, that seems like such a hopeful time. Not a time to be like cruising on a site. You know, you should be picking China patterns, but okay, if you want to say you're engaged while your husband is like getting a tux fitting, okay, you know. I said to one married guy, I'm like, oh, so is your husband on this site too? And he's like, actually, I'm married to a woman. And I said, oh, does that get complicated? And he's like, no. I have my iPhone and my buy phone. And I was like, oh, okay, you must got that on that phone on the buy now, gay later, because that's fucking crazy. Was that a folk head?
Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. It wasn't? Oh, okay. Because then you'd be worrying about it. That's why you're like, no, man, it wasn't. But you know when you get pictures, like this is what I look at pictures on dating sites, okay? You think you're going to look at the face, or you're like, some people don't even have their face, it's their chest. I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to do for me? You know what I mean? Your chest? Like, I have to say hi to your chest? Anyway, like, but they have like, first of all, if you're, I have rules now, because I fell into a trap, and I'll tell you what it was. If you're wearing cargo pants in your picture, I'm not like gonna communicate with you at that time. If you collect a toy train somewhere in your apartment in the background, I'm telling you, I'm looking at the background of these pictures most of all. Okay, collecting trains. These are things I've actually seen. A strange grown-up man obsession with Disneyland. That's fucked up. Okay, guys, you have to admit, right? A grown man, though. Are you obsessed with Disneyland? No.
No.
Who? Oh shit! I know it is a thing. It is a thing. Are your toenails too long? And if you have to ask, they're too long, guys. I'm just telling you that for sure. And here's where I fell into the trap: Velcro sandals.
No.
I've always been like, no.
No.
Why do your sandals need to float? You know what I mean? Why? Why do you need to take them on and off so quickly? Okay. I don't know. They just look like not nice. But one guy, I was like, he's so cute, but he has Velcro sandals. I gave him a shot, and everything was like, I ate my words because I'm like, fuck. He has Velcro sandals, and I really like them. But a month later, guys, he became the Velcro sandals guy I fucking knew to avoid. I'm telling you. He showed his true colors. I went out with my two straight girlfriends from high school, like just recently, and they're both recently twice divorced. So we were like totally like shooting the shit. You know what I mean? Having a good old time. Went to the Monet thing, went for a real good burger downtown. And then my one friend, I'll keep their names out of it because what the fuck, you know? Oh, this is being streamed. She's like, I've been really slutty. I can't wait to tell you stories. And I'm like, girl, let's have a drink and a burger and tell me about your escapades. I'm like, I'll tell you about mine too. And she's like, okay, like what? Like, what do you do? And I'm like, it's like, like, well, like on a dating site, you know, lots of things can happen. She's like, yeah, I know, like lots of chatting and you like meet so many guys and dick pics. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh my God. I gave a blowjob to a guy in his car in the parking lot. And I'm like, that's fucking hot. She's like, yeah, but I know him. Like, I've known him. He's like my buddy, like, And I'm like, okay, yeah, like, cool. And then she's like, how about you? And I'm like, well, on this one side, you just like message a guy and be like, want to come over and blow me? And then they knock on your door and they blow you and they leave. She's like, no, Phil, come on, no, Phil, no, you're lying. And I'm like, no. I'm totally joking, like as if I would do that, like Uber blowjob, you know what I mean? I felt so bad, but it was true, but I felt bad. I'm like, you let me feel bad, but yeah, it happens. You know what? Homos do shit, you know what I mean? I'm not here to defend them. I'm just here to tell the truth of what's happening out there, okay? But I felt so judged. It's so like, has anyone ever, I don't want to know your business. This is me with the microphone, okay? What else do I got here? So I was on the subway and chilling out. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning when it's like kind of empty because the subway's going to stop running. But sometimes I like to like stand up on the subway because I don't know, you get like a thigh workout, you just fucking put your headphones on, make a new video to Toto's Africa in your head, and you're like, boom, 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 right? Because you don't care. There's like people on the streetcar, very, very sparse. Then all of a sudden, 2 TTC officers like burst in like they're filming a fucking, I don't know, SVU subway station version of what's happening here. And I'm like, okay, cool. And everyone like straightens up just instinctually. And I'm like, oh, I did too. And then I was like, shit, I have like a whole bag of weed in my fanny pack. But I didn't care. I'm like, if I get arrested for weed, it's a day. You know what I mean? What's going to happen? So this was before it was legal. And they came right up to me because I stank a lot like weed. I realized at the time was high. It took me a second. And then I took my headphones off. And the guy cop taps me on the shoulder. And I was like, oh, fuck. And he's like, is your name Phil Luzi? And I was like, yeah. He's like, it's me, Chad Minter. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And I like pushed him and it was like, oh my God, he's pushing the cop. And I was like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I work here. And I'm like, cool. Like, that's so weird. And I had this like moment of like, I hate your guts, but maybe the universe brought you here for me to work something out. You know what I mean? Like being open to the situation. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Like, how's it going? He's like, good. I'm like, what are you up to? He's like, I'm a cop. And I'm like, no, you're not, Chad. You're a TTC cop. What are you going to do? Shoot me with your token gun there? Okay. But I kept it cool. I'm like, that's awesome. He's like, I'm married. I have 2 girls. He's like taking his phone out, showing me pictures. And his girl cop, like the TTC cop partner, she's like kind of getting bored, like antsy. And he's showing me pictures. He's like, how about you? And I'm like, well, I do stand-up comedy, a little bit of acting. And he's like, cool. Are you married? And I'm like, no, I'm not married. He's like, so no kids? And I'm like, no. He's like, are you dating anybody? And I said, yeah, I am. He's like, oh my God, what's her name? And I said, Tony. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he just like started to like walk like he was busy and like gonna meet his partner. And I'm like, oh, okay. Later, Chad. He's like, sorry, I didn't mean to be awkward, but I didn't know you were gay. You don't look gay. And I was like, I know I don't look gay right now, Chad, but you should see me with a dick in my mouth, you know what I mean? That usually does a trick. I'll show you later, send you a pic. You don't look gay. Do I now? Look at me now, guys. My Chiquita banana is totally like, I'm going to put it here because I feel violated. Not violated, like I did this to myself, but cover myself up. My dad passed away before the pandemic, which I'm always grateful for because my dad like planned out his entire funeral really like excitedly, like he was planning his wedding, like he was super pumped about it. He picked everything, like the cemetery and the funeral home and the coffin, and he was just like talking about it all the time. And my sisters would get a little upset about it, like, Dad, stop talking about your funeral. But I'm like, I kept the lines of communication open because I didn't want to like isolate my dad. So I would be the listener. And so I went to the funeral home with him, and like he showed me, he's like, this is the room I'm going to be in. And I'm like, amazing. He's like, I got a couple of extra flowers just in case there were not enough. Like just in case other people didn't send him enough flowers. He bought himself extra flowers. Okay. And then he takes us to the coffin room. I'm going to call it what it is because it's literally like a car sales center, but with coffins. And he's like, he walks right up to his and he's like, taps on it. He's like, this one is mine. It's copper, he says. Bulletproof. And I was like, what the fuck do you need a bulletproof coffin for, buddy? Like, is there going to be someone with a gun at your funeral? Because I will not be coming, you know? But it did look comfortable, okay? So he picked out his like cemetery plot, and he didn't buy just one, which normal people do. He bought 4, and I was like, Dad, why are you buying 4? He's like, oh, I don't like nobody around me. I was like, what a time to be claustrophobic. You know what I mean? When you're buried in a box 6 feet underground. And he bought his like cemetery plot, like, and the grass wasn't green enough, so he cut the sod out and replaced it with like brand new high grade sod. So it looks like a fluorescent green square from the sky. And a tombstone he had made for himself with an etching of the Last Supper on it because he's obsessed with dinner. Okay. And he has his name on it, his birth date, no death date, and this quote, always in our hearts. I'm like, you bought that for yourself. That's so cool that you put that. You're always going to be in our hearts. Like, you know what I mean? He paid for it. And then he had it installed at the cemetery because he wanted to know what it was going to look like because he paid for it. He's like, I paid for it. I want to know what it looked like. Usually, like, you keep that in a warehouse till the day you need it, right? And he would go there every day and water the grass and plant flowers and clean the stone like it was a fucking car or something, and he would take care of it extra special. The gardeners even knew him. And one day I was like at his home because we were gonna go for brunch and he wasn't there, so I called his cell. I'm like, Dad, where are you? Like, we were supposed to meet here at noon. He's like, sorry, I'm at the cemetery cleaning up. I'll be right back. And then he comes back and he tells me, he's like, sorry, I ran into Dominic at the cemetery. And I'm like, okay, this is like an old friend of my dad's. He's like, you remember? And I'm like, yeah. His son used to come. We played soccer. You guys got drunk on whiskey in the dining room and then drove us to soccer practice because it was 1985 or something. And he's like, yeah. And I remember this guy because Bab's dad would always be like super encouraging at soccer games. Like, you can do it. You got one shot. And my dad would be like, you're never going to make it. You're never going to. Like, that was my dad. That was his quote. That should have been on the fucking tombstone. You're never going to make it. Because that's what he always said. But don't worry about me. I'll leave that one for my therapist. And then, so he has this installed, and then he's like, I saw Dominic at the cemetery, and I'm like, how is he doing? And he's like, I don't know. He looked at me, and he walked away. And I'm like, that's weird. Did you guys fight or something? He's like, no, never. And I'm like, then don't take it personally, Dad. Like, don't worry about it. You don't know what's going on with him. I'm having this like pep talk with my dad, and the phone rings, and I pick it up. And it was Fab, this guy's son. I'm like, buddy, we were just talking about you and your dad. My dad saw him at the cemetery. He's like, yeah, my dad saw him too. And I'm like, so is everything okay? He's like, well, my aunt passed away a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, my dad was bringing flowers to her cemetery plot and then was walking back to his car and walked by your dad's tombstone and was like, oh my God, I didn't know this happened. How could I have not found out? And just was standing there kind of like taking it in and not understanding. And then when he turned around, I saw your dad standing there with a watering can. Can you come here tomorrow for lunch? Because my dad doesn't believe he's fucking still alive. And I'm like, Dad, I'm playing too far ahead. You know what I mean? Anyway, guys, you know what? I think am I done my time? Okay, cool. Guys, you're going to love Sandra Battaglini. She's coming up right now. And you're going to love her too. I can't wait for you to see her. Bring up Lars.
Luzi. Is that the closest you've ever been to that big a banana? That's up front and personal right there. What did you forget? Oh, Chiquita. One more time for Chiquita Banana here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, how's everyone? I got to do this. Is the obligatory core temperature check. How's everyone's core temperature? In the back?
Not great.
Dangerously low, she says. Dangerously low. You still have your extremities. You'll be fine. Most of the blood is pool. As long as the blood is in your core, you're gonna stay alive. You might lose some fingers, right? You guys are great. Yeah. Oh, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you got a treat. You ready for your final act of the night?
Yeah.
She's a Canadian Comedy Award winner. She just recorded her album, aptly named Haunted House. She's a regular here in the alley. Please give it up to the mayor of comedy, Sandra Battaglini, aka Sandra Battaglini.
Guys, keep it going for Lars Classington. Hands in the air for the Viking. Guys, thanks for coming to my comedy show, Housewives of New Jersey. You know what I mean? Fucking jewels and cocaine, whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? I thought, okay, maybe I could do a little fucking character, you know, guys? Does anybody like these fucking massive tits? This is massive tits. After the orgasm, like, what the fuck, guys? Like, they're literally pressing into my own tits. Do you understand? Making holes into my tits. Anybody else have that? Okay, wicked. Great. Good for you. All right. Everyone, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck am I wearing? Like, I feel so bizarre, too. Huh? What? You hope I'm insured. What, with all this? With this? Oh, it's insured, honey, for sure. You're acting with Phil Gates. This is Phil's. Big surprise, eh, guys? This is Phil's. I picked this up on the fucking way out. Oh, who isn't high? I'm so high, right? Anybody? What the fuck? I want to just be eating chips or something. I don't think I can keep these tits. I don't think I can keep
the
tits. You like that?
Oh,
Like,
they're
it's so stupid. Okay, guys, let's have fun. Let's fucking do this. Okay. Lots happened in the last 2 years, you know? What's their fucking name? I'm too high for this. Maple Leaf. Maple Leaf came up with a new hamburger, 50% meat, 50% plant-based. And I'm like, that's disgusting, okay? That's like saying 50% dick, 50% dick pump, all right? It's got to be all dick or all pump. I'm a purist. You know what I'm talking about? And you guys are like, how come I know so much about dick pumps? Good question. My Uncle Gino had a dick pump, okay? Right? This guy would show up to Italian weddings and everybody would be like, hey, Gino, you going to pump your dick for us? And I'm like, is this the kind of family we are? You know? Just getting circus Gino to fucking pump up his dick for the wedding? Like, this is fun. Anyways, we buried Uncle G, dick pump and all. Okay, R.I.P. I don't know. I feel a little out of it, right? What am I know you guys want these tits, but I don't care. Oh, wow. You see the value of a woman's only in the tits. Huh? Nobody makes that big, nobody goes crazy when it's like, oh, you got a big puss. You know what I mean? Like it's I got a big puss. It's just the way it is. And inherited from my mama, okay? She got a big puss. Dada got a big puss. You know what I mean? Two kinds of puss, okay? Innies and outies. I got an Audi. German engineer. You know what I'm saying? I feel like such a cheap. That made me feel like a cheap whore. Like it's hard doing that. I can't. You understand? I feel like a fuck. I can't. I love you, but like. Let it fly. Look at this.
Oh,
buddy!
no.
Oh my God! Look at these chicks just go away. That was the best. Oh, that was like a clown show. I love. Okay, how about my tits pass? Okay, whatever. Okay. I am a little bit of tits. What the fuck? See, I feel better. I couldn't you know what I always like, I'll look at big tits and I'm like, oh, that'd be fun. You know what I mean? Like, like fucking, my pussy. You know what I mean? Just fucking touch your tits. But then when you gotta fucking go grab change in your purse, you don't want those big tits. You know what I mean? Anyways, whatever. Trying out new materials. That's not even new material. That was just fucking. What else do I got in this? Oh yeah, guys. Do you like climate change deniers and depopulation or overpopulation deniers? They always say this quote. I don't know if you've heard this. They're like, the Earth isn't overpopulated. You can fit everybody in the state of Texas. Have you heard this before? They're like, you can fit everybody on Earth in the state of Texas. I know, and I'm like, my question is, what the fuck are we all doing in Texas? You know what I mean? Like why did we choose Texas? Like maybe it's because there's no abortion there, right? So then they're like, how many more of us can we fit in this fucking freedom state? Okay, new joke. We had a couple pops, but that's it. What are you gonna do? Okay, what are you fuck me? Loving comedy right now. Let's take it easy. No, I was walking through my neighborhood and there's this woman that's like I guess she's like a street-ish person. And she walks by me and then I'm high. I notice she's looking at me and I smile. And then she crosses me, she's like, cunt. You know? I was like, wow, I feel so good, you know? You get toss the word cunt. And you guys are together? Oh yeah, no, she said hi. She said yes. She said hi. Oh my god. What can I say? Did you guys see on the campaign trail how someone threw gravel at the prime minister? Did you see this fucking shit? I'm like, seriously? This is the best we can do? We're just gonna throw sand at the man? You know what I mean? We gotta get confidence as a country, okay? Like, I don't know, cement. Throw cement, right? I mean, okay, that might be a little hard. Bullets, I'm riffing. You know what I mean? I'm riffing. As long as this motherfucker ends up upside down in the town square like Mussolini, I'll be happy. Hey guys, fuck this guy. I'm so mad at this fucking guy. I don't know how he got in again. Like, anyways, and then this woman I know, she says to me, she after I did a show, she's like, comment, that joke isn't funny. It seems to incite violence and assassination. And I was like, was there a fucking riot after my show? You know what I mean? And then she's like, and 33% of Canadians voted for Trudeau. I'm like, whoa, that's a hefty majority, you know? Like, what should I do? Like, suck Trudeau's dick for this 33%? You know what I mean? And then also, she didn't hear me. I said, throw bullets, okay? I said throw. I didn't say shoot, you know? Somebody might, but I didn't say it. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah. You know what? You guys are there, and then you go away. That's cool. Confidence, right in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Lick my pussy. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do with Phil. Lick my pussy. I just want to sing that song with Phil Luzi. Okay. I don't know. Do I want to do like what do I want to do? You know what I mean? Oh, guys, I just started watching that Korean genocide show. Squid Game. What the fuck? That's like I've never seen so much murder. It's horrifying. And this girl keeps talking, like, right? And you keep doing, right? Is it? I'm fucked up. It's fucking me up. Yeah, it's like we did this show. Like, even though it's so well done, we've gone too far. You know what I mean? That's it. We've literally gone too fucking far. It's over. Anyways, guys, I just realized that I have my I don't, you know. Rock it. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Why do I don't do this on the sidewalk, okay? I don't fucking grind. I do it in front of you. You know what I mean? Because you want me too. You know, I'm just a mirror to you, all right? Don't look at me like I'm some kind of cheap whore. Whatever. Okay, let's rock some more puss. What's that other thing I want? Oh, for favorite what? Oh yeah, favorite game. Oh my god. Okay, so last night I did a show in Belleville. It was fucked. It was like a Halloween party, and then this one guy, like the scariest guy, he was a scarecrow. And then after the show, yeah, he was honestly, it was intense. And then after the show, and his eyes were all bloody. And after the show, he comes up to me, he's like, oh, "I'll be your favorite gay man." Right? Like this. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm like, do you know Phil Luzi? You know what I mean? And then and then he's like, "I'll be your favorite gay man." And then he takes his knife, his plastic knife, like this, and I was like, ugh. And then this woman walks by. He takes this plastic knife, he puts it between her legs, gives it a fucking rubber up her puss and her ass. And I was like, woo, that's tight, man, right? Like that wouldn't happen in the city. That was and then she turns like, "Oh my god, I love you so much," right? I'm like, that's fucking small town fucking shit. You know what I mean? Just dirty out. Okay, you guys. I don't know if you're enthusiastic or cold. Are you pumped? You're fucking pumped. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Let's keep doing this. Oh, why? Why am I doing that? Why? Now that my tits are gone.
That's a good song.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was like a clown show. Anyways, let's pull up my fucking my bra straps. I'm wearing a strapless. Okay, don't be anxious. I'm wearing a strapless. What a slut. Anyways,
What a
right? Who wears strapless? Sluts you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Walking down the street, 9 to 5. When my weekend comes, I go get live with my honey. With the Superman on walking down the street, 9 to 5. When the weekend comes, I go pussy with my honey. I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing it. What else are we gonna do? Okay, yeah. Right? Just listening to it. Oh no. Yeah, we're Sandy. Max. Oh yeah. What's a good other song from that time period? What's that other? Oh, there's so many of them. I can't have all the words. Oh my god. I'll find them. I'll figure it out. So one day I was like I live in Leslieville. Anybody else? Yeah. Okay, amazing. Like peace. Yeah. Like, do you like the neighborhood?
I live like around the corner. I live on Broadview and like being right up here.
Okay,
It's
so
very nice.
this is Riverdale. I know it's. There's so many names for this fucking town.
Yeah, I don't
River-
understand where it is. It's somewhere.
Yeah.
Leslieville and one of the other.
Yeah, Leslie. Yeah, and it's
I can walk to Leslieville Cheese Mart. That's how I figure it out. It's pretty much
Okay,
Leslieville.
that's good.
Leslieville Cheese Mart.
that was a very good answer. That was a very detailed fucking answer. You know what I mean? Sometimes you go to the audience, you lose. You know, but this time we won. I know where these chicks are. Working 9 to 5. Anyways, this is my neighborhood. It's my hood, whatever. Okay. It's like I like this neighborhood, but there's too many kids with their parents. I get it. You know how to procreate. You know what I mean? And there's just all these different parenting styles. I saw this mom with a little kid, and she's walking really fast, and she's really pissed. And she says to her little guy, she's like, "You didn't do your best today." And he's like, "But why, mommy?" She's like, "You just didn't do your best." And I'm like, "Take it easy, lady. Because by the looks of your kid, you didn't do your best either." You know what I mean? Oh, look at how scandalized. What? She started it, though. It's her fault. Look at this one. She's like,
She started it.
she did. She fucking started it. Wow, that really, I tore the room up. What's that? You what? You love me? Oh, you're with me. I thought you said you love me. Okay. I love everything about you. I love all the things around you. That's mine too. The DJ said he mixed. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, my neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. So I go out one day and I run into a woman that I happen to know. And so I see, we start talking and I was like, "How are you?" She's like, "Good, yeah. Went to a chiropractor today, feeling a lot more flexible." I'm like, "Okay." And then she's like, and then Catherine came over. You know these people who fucking think you know their family? You meet them one time. I was like, "Who the fuck's Catherine?" You know? And she's Catherine came over, and then we went for dinner in the park across the street. I'm like, "Okay." And then she doesn't ask me anything about myself, so I was like, "Okay, have a good night. See you later." As I'm walking away, she starts running after me. She's like, "Oh my God, I meant to tell you. Catherine said that she knew the woman who used to live in your house, and it was haunted." Can you imagine that? I'm like, she doesn't ask me how I'm doing, okay? But then she fucking runs after me and drops this bomb on a Thursday. Like, what am I supposed to go home now? I had a bag full of cheese. It was the hottest day in the fucking summer, right? And I'm like, and then I just circling the fucking neighborhood. Finally, I go home, right? And when I get inside, I'm like, "Hello? Anybody home?" Right? And then that night I'm watching TV and my TV starts flipping through all the sources like HDMI 1, HDMI 2. And I'm like, there it is. Always the fucking ghosts always start in the TV. I don't know why. They always end up in the fucking TV. Okay? So I'm like, that's it. This is here. It's here. I'm fucked. And then I started wondering, like, who is the spirit? You know, like, what is this? And then a couple of days later, I'm with Phil and we run into her. And first thing she said, she's like, oh yeah, Catherine said that the doors used to open and shut. And I was like, oh yeah? Like, that's all? But then I thought, I'm like, oh, that's nice, you know? Like a concierge ghost, you know? Like, welcome home, milady, right? It's like, have a good night, good day. Okay, yeah, I didn't quite do that last part, primo supremo, but we'll move on, you know what I mean? And okay, yeah, that's good. There you go. We're doing it. I don't even know how much time I've done, but you guys are probably all cold and want to go home. Did you say yeah? For pizza?
Yeah, we all have pizza now.
Is the pizza coming here?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was so excited. I thought so. This is a fucking glue. Today I had fucking pasta. And now pizza? This is the perfect day in an Italian person's life. Who could no longer eat gluten. You know what I mean? Because if I give a day to gluten, I'm like, I'm doing the whole day. Okay? More like I fucking ate so much pasta, it was so good, but now I feel bloated. And then the pizza, oh yeah, I'm gonna feel like a fucking.
I love it.
Oh yeah. Da, 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 da. Ooh yeah. Yeah. Do you know one of the first things I used to do when I did stand up? So fucked. I used to ask for people's postal codes and then I'd spell them with my ass. That was a trick I used to turn. You know what I mean? Anyways, whatever. Just let's keep going. Or maybe I'll just say this and get the fuck out. You know what I mean? So we can eat pizza. Smoke some more weed, am I right? What are we doing? I went on Tinder for about a week. Anybody else take a nosedive into a garbage dump?
You gotta do it.
I like this shit. You do and then do you? You know what I mean? Like it's the fucking names of these things. You know, Tinder. Like what isn't that? Just burning wood? Like what is this supposed to mean?
It's a fire starter.
Fire
That's what
starter.
Tinder is used for, to start fire.
Oh, these guys. I'm just gonna bring them to my shows. You know what I mean? They're just gonna explain.
Yeah.
They're just gonna explain everything. I love that. Just fire starter.
On your dick.
Off what? Off your dick? Off your dick. Wow, you took it far. You took it far. You took it. I was like, dick came out of nowhere a little bit, you know? I was like, we got a couple more places, a couple more stages before dick pops out, you know? Like it's a little. That was a lot, you know? What was I saying? Oh yeah, so. Oh, postal code. That was before. This guy just wants to see me. I can do it. What's your postal code? Yeah. M 5 A. Go ahead, leprechaun. 2 X. 2XX?
I like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Every night, every night. You're jamming with DJ Sandy Mix. Oh, yeah. 2XS. What's the other part of your postal code? 2X1. I can do the 1. Yeah, that's what I did for a time. You know what I mean? Whatever you got to do for a laugh. You know what the fuck is happening? Okay, Tinder. Okay, and then the other one, Plenty of Fish. Do you guys remember Plenty of Fish? Is that still around? That one. That's like a consolation phrase after you break up with someone. You know, people are like, oh my God, don't worry about it. There's plenty of fish in the sea. But not all the fish in the sea are good fish. Okay? There's plenty of sick fish in the fucking sea. and they're all on Plenty of Fish. Okay, really low bar, low bar on that. Anyways, when I was on Tinder, I match up with a guy named Ahmed. Okay, and then this guy asks me if we can like go on FaceTime, right? So we can see each other. And then I was like, really? Now I gotta talk to this fucking guy? You know what I mean? But then I'm like, Sandra, like I was high and I'm like, just bust through your fears, you know? And then just before he calls me, he sends me a message and he's like, what are your measurements? I know. I was like, what? I'm like, what are you making me a dress? You know? Like so weird. Anyway, so the FaceTime lights up, I answer, and he's like, this is him. He's like, oh, nice. 5'6", huh? What's that in centimeters? I gotta do conversion for you too. And like, what do you need all these numbers for? What are you making me a coffin? This is fucked, right? And then he goes, you know, and he goes, how about next week you come up to Ajax? I cook you nice Turkish meal. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna come up to Ajax for the first fucking time I meet you. What do you think, I'm nuts? He's like, why not? It's gonna be so much fun. Cha cha cha, right? And I'm like, I can imagine, yeah, I just drive up to Ajax, you know, eat this Turkish meal that's laced in poison, right? Then I fucking croak, right? Foam at the mouth. And then this guy like dresses me in the dress he sold me, right? Puts me in the coffin he built me, right? And then just fucking shoves me in the basement of his Ajax house. And people be like, hey, what happened to Sandra? Oh, she's just haunting a house in Ajax. You know what I mean? Story was somebody was haunting her house, and now she's gonna pay back. It's the way Italians are. We can't just, no matter how much we meditate, okay? Like we still want payback, okay? Right? It's just like it's built in our uteruses. Anyways, just and then okay, then I met like an actual human person, and we were on the phone having like hot phone talk. What do you call it? It's phone sex. Yeah. What am I? What is this? 1985? Hot phone talk? Like what the fuck? Right? And then at minute 40, he tells me that he's naked. And I was like, oh, I would have liked to know that earlier. I would have taken my socks off. You know what I mean? Get into it. Yeah, right? Just get down. And then he goes, no, it's not what you think. I worked all day. I need to take a shower. And I was like, okay. I go, you know. And he's like, I'm hot, whatever. And I was like, take a cold shower. It's really good for your blood. And he's like, I'm a size 7 foot. Do you know what that's gonna do to me? And I was like, right? And then he's like, well, don't worry. He's like, I'm Italian. I have a big dick. And because I like to relate, I'm like, oh yeah. I go, I'm Italian too, and I have a big vagina. You know what I mean? No, but it's like, yeah, right? Like, and you know what? Chicks can't lead with that on a date. You know what I mean? And you're like, hey, bro, I got a big puss. You got what it takes to fill it up? You know what I mean? Like you can't, right? Like why do guys gotta fucking lay that out like that? Hey, by the way,
I got a big day.
I'm like, I'm like, I can see. You know what I mean? I can see through the pantaloons. Is it me? Like I keep seeing something above my head. Whatever, it might be just I'm going crazy. No big deal. No big deal. I'm almost done here. Whatever, guys. Let's just fucking rock it. I was just gonna say this so then this guy asked me what my sexual fantasy is, and I was like, what? Sexual fantasy? Like, it stumped me, you know? I'm like, I don't know. We've been locked up for 2 years. Like, I don't know. I just want to fuck, okay? Just like old-fashioned missionary style sex, you know? Like, he's a Catholic missionary, okay? And I'm a poor and suspecting girl, Mexican girl in a pueblo, you know? Just desperate for something to believe in, you know? And then this guy shows up, right? Missionary, you know, gives me the word of God, and then I take Jesus as my savior. That's my fantasy. Wow, that really ended. Come on, get out of here. You know what I mean? That was the show. What's that? Keep singing?
Yeah, baby. We need one more song.
This guy, we need one more song. Don't worry about it. Like, which song am I supposed to sing?
I don't know.
Like just this any song?
We have faith in you.
Like in the theme we were singing.
Oh, like dancing? Like dancing. Like this is what am I literally taking fucking requests? Yeah, like just do something where you're dancing, right? And it's the 1980s, bro. Like
We love you.
Oh my god, I love you. Honestly, I don't know what song to sing though. Seriously. sometimes comedy sets end like this. You know what I mean? Like sometimes not on a big laugh, but I'm like, yeah, I want to dance. I mean, I could dance, but why don't we bring up our host, guys? That was so much fun. That really was. Thank you so much. Keep it going for Lars Classington. Now he's got his feature shirt on.
Sandra Battaglini, everyone. Yes, keep going for all your acts. Earlier you saw Sarah Ashby. You also saw Anto Chen. You saw Alex Provodani. And you saw Phil Luzi. Guys, that is the end of the show. I want to thank everyone. This has been 20 weeks of doing this in the alley. Make sure to hit us up on Instagram and Dropbox at Laughing Vikings. Look for some winter shows indoors. And the final thing I would like to say to send you all on your way tonight, here as Pizza King / Prime President of Canada America, is go in peace and free pizza and extended massive orgasms for everybody. Pizza party, pizza party, pizza party, pizza party.
Okay, I was joking when I said there's pizza coming. Oh, like the perfect by your face.
Something for everybody here.
Guys, I can get my mind.
Get it in ya. The best thing is it's hot.
Pizza. Oh, you're gonna be upset.
Where's Emma?
Wait, what? That's actually corn.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Oh my God.
Oh, like an after party.
But that's how I knew your face. And I was like, I remember you. And I was always like, one of my very close friends.
Perfect ending.